Hi, my name is Challa Prabhu. Welcome everyone. In this session, we will explore data authoring using OxygenXML editor. The goal is to give you a quick yet comprehensive overview of its features, functionality, and capability to help you get started with structured technical writing. The two core important aspects of structured authoring is DTD, which is called the document type definition, which is used for structuring, and schema definition file, which is used for validation. So by the end of this session, you will understand how OxygenXML editor supports topic-based authoring, content reuse, and publishing in different formats. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about content reuse in this particular presentation, as well as the various publishing into various channels, and how the content are going to be single sourced before it is being used in the transformation scenario. So what is Dita? Dita, or Darwin Information Typing Architecture, is an XML-based framework for creating structured documentation. It enables a content reuse, modularity, and multiple channel publishing. We'll be talking much more in detail about content reuse, both from the perspective of sharing content across the different topics. We'll also be using keyref, and then also we'll be using modularity and multiple channel publishing using certain profiling attributes. Data breaks content into topics, maps, and relationships, making it highly flexible for technical documentation. Overview of OxygenXML editor. OxygenXML editor is one of the most powerful tools for data authoring. It offers an intuitive interface, an integrated data open toolkit, and advanced validation and publishing option. To know about what a data open toolkit is currently used in OxygenXML, go to Options, click on Preference, and then click on Data. This window shows you the Data Open Toolkit, that is a built-in Oxygen publishing engine based on Dita OT is 4.x, and then certain other details. Ensure that the proper Dita OT is applied to your data authoring tool. For advanced validation, click on Data Map and click on Validate and check for completeness. This will enable you to see that your topic is currently error-free. That means you will get a message below telling that that the validation is successful. And for publishing options, you can go to the transformation scenarios and look at the various associations that are available. You can choose any of those associations and apply associated to generate the respective output. Data topics types in OxygenXML. Oxygen supports three main topic types. One is concept, task, and reference. The concept is used for explanation, such as what is a data. So it's an introduction like scenario. And for task, it is used for step-by-step instructions. It will tell you about how to create a data topic in Oxygen. So it is a sequential steps in an ordered list. And reference used for structured data, for tables and commands. Command, for example, if you have a JIT, frequently used commands in JIT, then you can create a table with the JIT names, the description, and the use cases when that particular command is being used. Each topic type has a specific structure which ensures a consistency across the documentation. Creating a new data topic in Oxygen. So let's go step by step on how to create a data topic in Oxygen. Open OxygenXML editor, go to File, New Data, choose a topic type. You can choose a concept, task, or reference by following the same step, and fill in the title and the content using XML tags. Use the author view for a user-friendly editing experience or a text view for a direct XML editing. Save the file with a .data extension. Note, you can now see a structured data topic with elements like title, body, paragraph, unordered list and task for procedures, which means that for each topic that you select, the structure of the data topic will be different. Let me have a demo. As I said, you navigate to File, New, Data, and choose the topic type. So if you see that, you will get this dialog box called Choose a File Template. And under the topics, you will have concept, gloss entry, reference, topic, and topic type. So remember that all these topics have the same .data as a file name extension, but it is recommended that you prefix each file name with the first letter of the topic so that you can easily differentiate what type of topic types that particular file comprises. For example, you can have, for a concept topic, you can see C underscore and the name of the topic. For task, you can have T underscore, the name of the procedure, and for reference, you can put R underscore and what that table actually represents. What, for example, specification. This particular slide shows how the topic types are selected by navigating to File, New, and the respective topics under the data folder. This is creating a data map. A data map organizes multiple topics into a structured document. Okay, what is the analogy for data map? As usual, you think of a data map as a table of contents for your document. Okay, so what is the how do you create a data map? Go to File, New, Data Map. Add topics using topic ref elements. Arrange them hierarchically for navigation and save as .data map. Remember that data map file extension is .data map and bookmap file extension is also .data map, because the data standard states that the default extension for both the data maps and bookmap is data map. So as I was interacting with Radu Karovo, the OxygenXML editor, he gave this following link to share with the technical data community at large. So this is a file name extension. So Dita uses certain file extension for topics, maps, and conditional processing profiles. Okay, so the file that contains the data content should use the following file extensions. If you are creating concept top references, those files will have a .data extension, which is usually preferred. And data map will have .data map as a file name extension, and a conditional processing profile is called the data val. The conditional processing file is the filtering file, the file that you use to filter content for your output. For example, if you have two mobile devices with a different specification and images, and you want one single topic to be used to generate output for different mobile devices, you will use a data val as a filter to filter the content at the runtime and transform that and use the transformation scenario to publish the output accordingly. So if you see the OxygenXML editor here, you will see bookmap and map under the map. So but the navigation is the same. You have to go to File, New, and then choose Data, and under the maps you have bookmaps and map. Remember that the file name extension for bookmap and map is going to be .data map itself. So as I mentioned before, while interacting with Rado Kurovo, the product manager of OxygenXML, he has said that the data standard says that the default extension for both the data maps and bookmap is data map. He also shared the link which I just showed you a few minutes back, and there is no bookmark recognized extension. So this is for making the information more authentic to you people, that it is information that has been shared from the product manager of OxygenXML editor. The couple of slides are going to be very important now, because reusing content with OxygenXML. Because if I just create a content in all these data topics like a concept, a task, and reference, and then do a transformation scenario, then it's basically like the same output is going to be reproduced across all the scenarios that I am going to show you. But that is not the essence of this particular single sourcing solution. that I want to show it through OxygenXML. I have to show you the content reference, also have to show you the key reference and also the data well reference. Because one of the biggest advantage of data is content reuse. So Oxygen allows authors to reuse the content efficiently. So use conref to reference the content from another topic. So what does it mean is you can use a conref to use IDs generated inside a particular topic with another topic and reuse that particular content, so that the content that is being reused will be referring to the source location, and therefore there won't be any duplication of content. And the second one is going to be key ref, because it's going to be key reference. We'll also see how it is being created. So it has an indirect reference. Okay, it doesn't have a direct reference, it has an indirect reference. We'll also see that. And next is use the data well files to filter content, because we know that there are various profiling attributes which are pre-configured profiling attributes from OxygenXML. You could probably use them and then filter the content using conditional text inside your data document, so that your end result will not be the same content as you see in your topic, but it could be based on the profiling attribute. For example, if my audience is going to be an experienced user and a novice user, I could just apply some conditions onto my content in the topic, and then apply that condition during the transformation process and print only those conditions. For example, I can just print content only for expert audience and content only for the novice audience based on the profiling attribute. So the first image that I'm going to show you is the content reuse using key ref, and second one is content reuse using ID. So if you look at this particular topic, prerequisite for accessing application, if you come on the extreme on the top left, you'll see like full tag with attributes. So when I clicked on the full tag with attributes, I have all this tags and attributes before the paragraph and title and short description. But when I come inside the topic here, when I come here, if I want to reuse this particular content in some other topic, then I have to create an ID. So I'll generate a ID. Only then I'll be able to reuse that particular ID. So this is an example, but for more details, we'll explain you later. So I generated a ID. Now when I go back to the next topic, for example, if I go to here, I can click on this. I can click here, then choose reuse, then the reuse content. I will go and select the location of that particular file. I'll go and select the location of the file, for example. Okay, so I have the list of all the target IDs below. So based on the particular ID that you have generated for that particular content, you will choose that ID here in this particular content source, and then you insert and close. You will see that. So when you incorporate that reuse that content using the generate ID, the content cannot be modified or cannot be deleted or cannot be added. You have to make changes to the source content, because that is the content that is being referenced inside in this particular document. We'll use a key ref for indirect reference. So in order to use a key ref, you will right click on the topic and use append child and come and create a key definition with the keywords or key definition. Okay, so for example, if I click on the key definition, I come to the insert a key definition. So here I would give a file called image. Then I'll go to the target. Then choose the image file here. To enter the key definition file as image. click on the target, then choose something called chella1.jp, then you can insert and close. Okay. Now your image file is part of the key definition. I'll come here, then I'll go to the context, I'll go to the ref here, then I'll come and choose a reference, which is going to be my local file. I'll just tell them that it's going to be my so I'll choose a domain forest here, then can open, click on key definition, click on January image, say OK. So see that, and one more important thing is at the below in the reference detail section, you have to select image as the element name. So ensure that you select image as the element. Otherwise the image will be, otherwise only the path of the image will be entered in the document. You won't get that image inside. You won't get the image embedded into the document. So what is the advantage of using key images here? See, once I inserted the key refer here, I also have, there are a couple of images in that particular thing. I can choose either this, or I can just go and enter the same image and bring back the train here. So the key reference will help me to quickly indirectly enter the images into the document without going and finding out the exact source location of that image. Now we will talk about the data well files. Those are the filter wise, or they are the profiling attributes that are applied to a document. These are very essential because if we do not use the content ref, a key ref and data well inside the particular content, the content is going to be just a normal content that in each topic that's going to be transformed as an output to various devices or any other target files. So unless and until these controls are imposed in the document, then it doesn't become a single sourcing solution. Now let me show you this. This is called the profiling, and this is called show profiling colors and styles, show profiling attributes, show profiling excluded, novice, expert, challa, prabandal. So these are the certain conditional text that I'm going to apply on this content, so that when I generate a transformation scenario, this particular content will be delivered as a target on various multi-channels based on the conditions that are applied. So now I'm going to apply some conditions. Okay, I'll right click on this, go to edit properties. When I go to edit properties, you'll find targets, the keys, attributes and metadata. So when I click on key attributes, it shows that the current topic that I have selected has a export profiling attribute called export. That means that this document is going to be printed. The content that are available for you are going to be printed only for export. Okay, and then if I come here for profiling, you have to know that these are the pre-configured profiling attributes that are provided by OxygenXML. So if I go to, or if I choose anything and apply this particular attribute, okay, at the runtime I'll be able to generate that particular thing. Okay, let me apply and show that. Okay, I will have this here. I'm going to attribute. Then let's say it is for this only for export. You see that it's grayed out, right? You see it is grayed out, which means that this topic will be printed only for export. So if I come here and say that I want for export, these are the topics that on the left hand side are going to be will be printed for the exports. Second thing, you also find some checkbox with blue color. That means that that particular profiling attribute has been associated to that particular topic. So since it is a parent topic, any other child topic below that will also inherit all the properties of that particular profiling attribute. So this is very important. And inside the content, if you see all these colors, they are all certain attributes which have been associated to this particular content, which means at the runtime, that is at the time when I'm going to generate the output for various channels or devices, only those contents will be taken for printing. Okay. Now let me know what will be the output that will be generated for this now. Okay, so I will go to I'll go to the configure and transformation scenario. Then I'll click on this and click edit. Yes. Now if you come to the filters, you will know that the user profile condition text is going for exports. Okay, this says that whatever the condition that is currently there in the document will be for exports. Okay, whereas if I go and choose no if I go and choose a novice, this particular document will be printed for novice. So these are runtime configuration. The pre configurations are attributes are. So these are pre-configured profiling attributes. For example, audience, platforms, product, property, and others. You could also add some more attributes to any of these options in this, and you can assign colors, and then you can apply those colors on your particular document. At the runtime, you can choose what document you want to be delivered using the transformation scenario. This is very important. Otherwise, although it is a little bit beyond the scope of this particular presentation, if you do not use the key ref features or any of the profiling attributes, then what happens is you are just creating a document using that data that with the element definition, and therefore what happens is whenever you go and create a topic and click enter, you will get all the relevant elements associated to the current element, and accordingly you will have the annotations which will explain about the details of each and every element within the element list. So that doesn't serve the purpose, because that's only going to keep your structure of the document perfect. But we want to transform the content to various users, various devices, various responsive layouts. So it's more than that. Okay. So taking into consideration, if the future of the data is going to be more into AI and machine learning, that means we are going to talk more about features relationship. We are going to talk more about the compatibility. We are also going to talk about what needs to be printed at the end of the day, so that the machine tries to understand all this AI component, and you get the actual output. So you can do the data well filtering also by right clicking the topic and going to append child and using the data val reference. The data val reference will be filtered because this is correct, because we are going to do based on the data topics, and also we are going to select the data compatible files and this. So we are going to choose only that particular data val, because that is a particular filtering attribute that is going to be applied on that particular topic. Okay, so it gets generated automatically when the data is when the filtering option is applied. Okay, so why is data authoring using XML Oxygen is getting popular? Because it is used for APIs. So what does it mean for application programming interface? So it integrates the REST API content that is an open API format into data, which means that you can also have a bulk. You can also import a bulk of API open API references, and then you can create API documentation using the full content or based on the operations, or you can also go and query based on the server that you are using, based on various other parameters that you want to query. But to be very precise, you can integrate the REST API content that is in open API format into data topics, which means that if the open API has been written either in JSON or YAML, data takes care to convert that particular into a data format, and that gives you very good control of how the document needs to be created in OxygenXML. So publishing data content. So for those who are working on a standalone system, you could probably just transform this directly to to the output, and some who are working in a client-server environment, or some who are working with some source control system or version control system branching, then they would probably have a different way of publishing this output to that particular environment. So publishing data content. So once your data topic and maps are ready, so so what so so we talked about the data topics. The data topics are concept topic, task topic, and reference topics, and they become part of the data map, and the data map becomes a part of the book map. This is the workflow of creating a document in OxygenXML or any topic-based authoring. Then inside each topic, you create the reusable component inside using the conref. Okay, and you can also use a key ref inside it, or you can also have profiling attributes applied into each topic, so that the transformation scenario in Oxygen XML is smooth. And then you choose the output format. What type of output you need, whether you need it as a PDF, HTML, WebPub, EPUB, or Markdown. Then run that transformation and review the output. Okay, so Oxygen integrates with the Dita Open Toolkit. I said earlier that Oxygen integrates with the Dita Open Toolkit, okay, making it easy to generate a professional looking document. So when I say it is integrates with the Dita Open Toolkit, I said in Oxygen XML, click on options, click preferences, then Dita, and then it will tell you the what type of Dita Open Toolkit toolkit are you currently using within the Oxygen XML. So summary is, to summarize today we covered data basics and topic types, how to create a data topics and maps in Oxygen XML editor, content reuse techniques, and publishing options. So in summary, today we covered data basics and topic types, how to create a data topics and maps in Oxygen XML editor, content reuse techniques, which is very critical and very crucial for developing content for various end users and devices and output format. The publishing options is, you choose what the publishing options you want to based on the various transformation scenarios and associations that are listed in that particular dialog box. So what is the future? What is the future now, moving from this particular data authoring using OxygenXML? The future is going to be more on schematic content. So since we have already been there in the structured content, we would probably be needing to add more information to make it more applicable to the reference part of it, the compatibility part of it, and then we are trying to use more profiling to take control of the output of the particular content within each and every topic. So that's the thing. And most importantly, data, I said, because we are talking about microservices and many other things coming where you'll feel there are more multiple APIs communicating within each other, rating each other, and also to see how OxygenXML integrates REST API content that is an open API format in data content very easily. You can also reference to any of the open API from within the OxygenXML and generate the data topics accordingly, both in bulk as well as from a single API perspective. So your next step will be create a simple topics and explore transformation scenarios. Don't create transformation scenarios directly, because your source topic is just going to be converted to the transformation scenarios that you have selected, which means that the content has nothing to do with any of the constraints such as content reuse or a key ref or any data well filtering that is applied to your content, and even any transformation scenarios that need to take care of what has been specified in the data well filtering attributes. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this session. For more information, please contact training@metaperspect.com.